Hello traders, welcome to marketaddiction.net. Today is Tuesday, March 10th, 2009. And today we finally got this big snapback rally that everybody's been anticipating. The Dow was up 379 points and NASDAQ was up 89 points, which was actually over 7%. The S&P 500 was up 43 points, which was 6.37%. So we had a big rally, but looking at the daily chart, the S&P 500, you still see that we're in a primary downtrend. The 50-day moving average is declining. The 10-day is below the 20-day, which is below the 50-day. And as big as this rally was, you can see that we're still below the lows of last year. So as we continue to rally up, we could run into these as resistance. Looking at the 60-minute chart, I'd been pointing out this downtrend line, which we actually came up to and actually broke. So what I'm looking for now is a pullback to the 5-day moving average, which is actually starting to incline a little bit. It flattened it out, and now starting to point up. Now we're a bit extended here on the upside. We could have a follow through day tomorrow, but what I like to see is pull back eventually, either towards the end of the day tomorrow or maybe even the next day. But we're getting close to this potential level of resistance here, so we could get a pullback. Looking at the 10-minute chart, you can see that we had this big gap up in the morning and just ran from there. A little bit of sideways action midday, and then a little bit farther of a push into the close. So we had a very constructive day today with this higher low I pointed out on my blog. Then we broke past this level, put in a higher high. Got this broken trend line. We're above the 5-day moving average, which is starting to incline. So it's looking like we could have an intermediate term trend reversal here. But on the long-term time frame, we still have a lot of resistance levels above us. So if you do enter any long positions, you're going to have to be aggressive with those and quick to take your profits. So to look at some of the individual stocks on my watch list, the ones I'm looking at is HRL, which is called on the short side. We've had this big sell-off here, a retracement back up to this 50-day moving average. Looks like it's acting as resistance. Zoomed into the 10-minute chart, you can see we have had these higher lows in here, but we also have now what looks to be a lower high with some consolidation, prices contracting in here. I think if we get a break back down below this 5-day moving average, we could see the continuation of the downside. Looking at the 10-minute chart, I think we need to get back down below this $30.10 level in order to see some more sellers. The 5-day moving average, you can see here on the 10-minute chart, is still declining, so even though we are above it, the direction of the 5-day moving average is often more important than whether we're above or below it. And looking at the daily chart, we have a lot of potential to the downside, so we have a little bit of a gap back here that we could come down to. So looking at another chart on my list, another stock is CMS, which also called on the short side. Had this lower high in here, lower low. We're below this 50-day moving average. We've had some consolidation in here after this retracement from this big sell-off. Looking at the 60-minute chart, we're putting in these lower highs. Price is contracting in here a little bit. Let's see, looking at the 10-minute chart, I think we need to get below the support level, which is right around the 1055 area. And then this one also has a good bit of profit potential, perhaps all the way down to this 9.25 level. I do have a couple long setups on
ATS futures buy
on my watch list, but probably what I'll do is if I want to be somewhat aggressive and take a trade to the long side. I might actually get into the SPY and the spiders. And what I'll be looking for is if we do get a pullback, this 5-day moving average continues to turn up. We get a pullback, we hit it as support, and we start to trade back above it. What I'd like to do is enter a position there with a real tight stop and see if we can't get a move maybe up to this level or somewhere around in here. What you can actually even do is maybe put some Fibonacci on here, and the 38, well, this is actually, I got my Fibonacci on here backwards, but 1/3 retracement is right up around this key support level, so that may be a good target. So it'll be an aggressive trade. That's probably what I'll look to do on the long side, just trade the overall S&P instead of trying to pick out a particular stock. But I do have a couple on my list, and if they start to set up nice and move, I might enter. I'll be sure to post on my blog intraday whatever trades I do. So if you're just watching this video on YouTube and you want to check out the rest of my watch list, be sure to go to my website at marketaddiction.net. Check out the links on the side, stop back, and have a great day.